Hey everybody, welcome to Yoga with Michelle. My name is Michelle and this is Yoga for Everybody. And yes, all of my videos, all my classes are for everybody. They're all levels, you can modify. I always offer modifications and variations to fit every single person and fitness level and whatever goals that you have. But this class, I call it Yoga for Everybody because I'm not targeting any specific muscle group or part of the body. It's a full body flow. It's not super long, very doable for any time of day. So this is for anybody, anytime, to flow and move your body and feel better. Make sure you have whatever you need: block, towel, water, a mat, space to move, and let go of, get rid of anything that you don't need, physically and mentally, and take child's pose. You might add a little bit of heat to your room. If you like heated or hot yoga, maybe you're doing this outside and you've got a bit of a breeze, that's awesome too. Just start right in with your ujjayi breath, if that's part of your practice, or just an intentional and powerful inhale and exhale through your nose, one that keeps your attention and that you can keep throughout the whole practice. So your breath is gonna set the pace for your movement and also keep you anchored right here. Draw your sits bones back towards your heels. Shimmy your hips from side to side. Release any tension in your face. Maybe set an intention for this practice, for how you want to show up. And walk your hands to the right. Get a stretch in the left side of your body. Come through center and walk your hands to the other side. Bring your hands forward. Spread your fingers out nice and wide. Press down into the mat. Take one more big full breath in through your nose. And then exhale, tuck your toes and make your way to downward facing dog. Bring some movement here to this first down dog. You can pedal out your feet. Maybe tilt your tailbone from side to side. Take a little inventory of how you're feeling. Whether you're sore, tired, if you're feeling energetic and powerful and strong, or if you've got injuries that you're working around, bring some attention there. Know that you can always modify this practice. Create an external rotation in your upper arms and a slight internal rotation in your legs. Lift your tailbone straight up. Come up high on your toes. Keep your hips high. Tiptoe to the top of your mat. Ragdoll. So bring your feet out nice and wide. Press down in all four corners of your feet and just let your upper body hang heavy. Keep the muscles of your legs engaged though, and the internal rotation. You can bring in a little rock from side to side, a little sway, or stillness if you need stillness today. Drop your hands down to the mat. Heel toe your feet about hip distance apart. Then nice and slow, roll up to standing. Reach up, extended mountain pose. Keep pressing down in your feet, pulling everything into center. Pull the pit of your belly in and up. Take your eyes up between your hands. Take a big breath in. Exhale, forward fold. Hinge at your hips. Halfway lift. Lengthen the crown of your head forward. So create a nice long flat back and draw your shoulder blades up towards the ceiling. And bring your hands to your shins like I have them right here, to your thighs if that works better, or even spider finger on the mat. Keep at least a slight bend in your knees though, so you want to avoid locking out. Pull your belly in, breathe in, forward fold, exhale. Extended mountain pose. Sweep your arms open wide this time. Bow forward. Halfway lift, long spine, high plank. So plant your hands, step or hop your feet back, whichever one you choose, landing nice and soft. Grip the mat with your fingertips. Don't let your head hang down. And on your inhale, shift forward. Exhale, low plank, chaturanga. Upward facing dog, look forward. Downward facing dog, like you're being pulled up and back. So move from your center. On your inhale, come up high on your toes again. Look forward, step or hop to the top of your mat. Halfway lift, lengthen, forward fold. Mountain pose, pull the pit of your belly in and up, forward fold. Halfway lift, big breath in, chaturanga. Stack your elbows right over your wrists, upward facing dog, shoulders straight back, downward facing dog. Set your drishti right at the back of your mat. See if you can focus on one thing for every pose. The more you look around, the more distraction comes in. Inhale, lift your heels. Exhale, step or hop forward. Halfway lift, pull your belly in, forward fold. Chair pose. Press down in your heels, then draw your heels away from each other and to fire up your outer thighs. Create a neutral pelvis. Sink your hips down. Lift your chest. You're here for just a few more breaths. Stay with it. Powerful breath. Sink down low. One more inhale. Forward fold, let it out. Halfway lift, lengthen your spine, low plank. Press the mat away from you as you lower down. Upward facing dog, press the tops of your feet down. Downward facing dog. Three-legged dog, right side. Lift your right heel straight up. Press the center of your heel back. Then from your glute, lift your heel even higher. Look forward at the top of your mat. Step forward, landing nice and soft. If you need to take a couple of steps forward to get there, that's fine too. Warrior one. Let your back heel come down. Face both hips forward. Ground down through your feet, pull up through your core. Warrior two. Engage your right glute to bring your knee right over your ankle. If you need to adjust your feet, do that. Flip your palm, reverse. Lengthen the side of your body, and then cartwheel your hands down, chaturanga, or you can meet in downward facing dog. Upward facing, squeeze your thighs, lift your hips, downward facing dog. Three-legged dog, left side. Press down and forward in your hands. Hug skin to muscle to bone. Lift it up. Step forward. Plant your foot. Warrior one. Remember, you could take any arm variation. Clasp your hands. Maybe reverse namaste. Or just hands to your hips is fine as well. See if you can get your front thigh parallel to the mat. Take your drishti up and back. Fullest expression, warrior two. Lift the crown of your head up. Press down in your feet. Pull into center. Flip your palm, reverse. Look up and back. Exhale your way down. Low plank. Upward facing dog. Look forward. Downward facing dog. Three-legged dog, right side. Look forward. Step forward. Crescent lunge. So we'll come into a long lunge. Stack your back heel right over your back toes. You can bring your back knee down or keep it lifted. Get a big stretch here in your psoas though, by coming out nice and long. So you don't want your front knee past your ankle. Adjust your feet however you need to. Stay with your breath. Bring your hands to heart center. Then your left hand down to the mat, your right hand up towards the ceiling. Twist. Lift your back thigh up. Use that back leg as an anchor. Press down in your feet. Reach your lifted hand forward. You'll reach both hands forward. Warrior three. Even if it's shaky, not going for perfection here, but just progress, just showing up. Bring your hands to heart center. Bring your left leg forward, figure four. So bring your ankle right up above your right knee. Start to sink down. It's like a little one-legged chair, hip opener. You fall out, you come right back in. Lift your chest. Keep your elbows out wide. Make sure you're not hunching over. Then nice and slow, take your leg back to crescent lunge. Warrior two. Flip your palm, reverse. Extended side angle. Bring your elbow to your thigh or your hand down to a block or to the mat. Just make sure you're not hunched over. Create length in the sides of your body. Then open your chest up towards the ceiling. Reach your hand forward, sweep it down to the mat. Low plank. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Take a breath in. Empty all the air out. Three-legged dog, left side. Look forward, step forward, crescent lunge. Again, come out nice and long. Work towards getting a 90-degree angle in your front knee, but know that if that's not in your practice today, that's just fine. Breathe. Ground down into the mat, pull everything into center. Come to your fullest expression, like your edge in the pose, whatever that looks like to you today. Whatever the feeling is that you want to have, the experience that you want on your mat today, and when you get done with this practice, put that into this moment. Sink your hips down nice and low. Bring your hands to heart center. Then your right hand down to the mat, your left hand up. Lengthen the crown of your head forward. Twist. Drop your hips down even more. You're here for 3, 2, 1. Reach your hand forward, get long. Reach both hands forward. Press down in your front foot, warrior 3. The messiness is part of the process. Drop your right hip down, square your hips to the mat, lift your thumbs, lift your heel, then bring your hands to heart center and your right leg forward, figure four. Be really intentional with your movements. And the more intentional you are with the choices you make on the mat, the more that will carry over off the mat into your life. Sink low, then nice and slow, step your foot back to crescent lunge. Warrior two. Reverse, extended side angle. Press down in your heels. Draw your heels towards each other, then peel your shoulder back. Look up at your fingertips. Take a breath in. Exhale, sweep your hands down. Low plank. Upward facing dog, straighten your arms. Downward facing dog. Three-legged dog, right side. Step forward from your core, warrior one. Warrior two, triangle. So straighten your front leg, reach forward, bring your hand down to a block. If you don't have a block, you could use a water bottle, a book, or your shin. Create an external rotation in your front leg. Squeeze your thighs towards each other. Then reach up so much you come to standing. Take side facing, wide leg forward fold. So bring your feet out wide with the outside edges of your feet parallel with the outside edges of your mat. Then you can take any arm variation. I like to clasp my hands behind my low back. Lift your chest, fold forward. Bring your shoulders out a bit. Bring your hands down to the mat. If you want to take a headstand here, go for it. Just be mindful of your space. But work to bring the crown of your head down. Lift your tailbone straight up. Roll up to standing. Face both feet forward towards the top of your mat. Walk your back foot in about halfway. In this case, if your back heel is off the mat, walk it forward even more. Always like when in doubt, usually I say step it out. In this case, when in doubt, bring it in a little bit closer. Squeeze your thighs towards each other. Choose your arm variation. I'm gonna grab my elbows behind my back. Lead with your chest though, and fold forward. I'll draw your right hip back, your left hip forward, really lengthening the backs of your legs, showing your hamstrings some love. Release your hands down to the mat. Take a halfway lift, so lengthen the crown of your head forward. Then plant your hands, step back, chaturanga. Squeeze in, upward facing dog, bring your chest forward. Downward facing dog, chest towards your thighs. Three-legged dog, left side. Step forward, warrior one. Warrior two. Triangle. Straighten your front leg, lengthen. Then bring your hand down. Slight external rotation in your front leg. Kind of play with the placement of the block, but be intentional setting up the physical foundation of the pose to create strength, right? A solid base, and then freedom to open up. Then come up to standing. Take side facing wide leg forward fold again, but choose something different. Maybe reach your hands up, sweep them forward, pause right there, get long, pull your belly button in towards your spine, then sweep your hands down, back behind you. You can grab your ankles, pull your upper body down, maybe bend one knee and then the other. Couple of breaths here, so make them count. Make sure whatever choices you make in your practice are a reflection of your goals, of what brought you onto your mat today. Come up to standing, face both feet forward, pyramid. So walk your back foot in so you can equally distribute your weight. Hinge forward, lead with your chest. Let the crown of your head go down towards the mat. You can move your jaw around and your eyebrows. Make sure you're not holding any tension in your face. With every exhale, fold a little bit deeper. And then take a halfway lift, plant your hands, low plank. Upward facing dog, big inhale, downward facing dog. Let it out. Come up high on your toes, step all the way through your hands, come down on your back. Bridge. So press down in your feet, lift your hips up. Shimmy your shoulders underneath you so you can really press down in your triceps to lift your chest up and back. Pull your core in and up. Lift your right heel straight up towards the ceiling. Flex your foot. Keep your hips high. Breathe in. Exhale, switch sides. Press down in your right foot. Lift the center of your left heel up even higher. Release, come all the way down. Windshield wiper from side to side. Hug your knees into your chest. Happy baby. So grab the outsides of your feet. Pull your feet down towards the mat. Draw your tailbone down. Your shoulders down to the mat. You can rock from side to side. Breathe, soften your face. Maybe even smile a little bit. It's just yoga. Acknowledge yourself for doing this, for dedicating this time to you. And one more time, hug your knees into your chest. Send your heels straight up towards the ceiling. Clasp your hands behind your head, or you can bring your hands right by your sides. But press your low back down, lift your chest up, flex your feet. You can flex or point, really, up to you. Just be really intentional. Create a little bit of an inward rotation in your legs. Maybe bring your big toes in towards each other. Lift your chin up off your chest. So ease in your neck, ease in your face. Focus on one spot. Breathe in. Exhale. Bring your right heel 2 inches off the mat. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale, bring your left heel down. Inhale up. Keep going, just like that. Nice and slow. Link your movement with your breath. Put your attention on your core. Lower, lift. Lower, lift. For 10, 9, Lift your chest. 8, 7, press your low back down. 6, 5, stay with it. 4, come back in if you're out. 3, so close. 2, 1, hug your knees into your chest. Then rock and roll up and down your mat. Plant your hands, step your feet back to downward facing dog. Pedal out your feet. 3-legged dog, right side. Bend your knee, open your hips up, get a big side body stretch, and take half pigeon. So bring your right knee to your right wrist. First, square your hips. You need a block under one side, grab a block. Then adjust your front shin, bring it as close to parallel with the top of your mat as possible. You can stay right here or walk your hands forward. Let your chest come down towards the mat. Notice if you're in resistance. And with every exhale, release, let go. Let your hips get nice and heavy. Give yourself 2 more full breaths here. Longer if you need it, you can always pause. And walk your hands towards your front shin and step your foot back to downward facing dog. Take it on the left, so lift your heel, bend your knee, open your hips, half pigeon. Again, make any adjustments you need. You can grab a blanket or a prop under your hip if that works better for you, or even take this on your back. This pose is uncomfortable for most people. A lot of us have tight hips. So make sure you're staying with your breath. Walk your elbows or your hands forward even more. Really lengthen the sides of your body. Press your back foot back even more. Walk your hands towards your front shin. This time, swing your right leg around. Seated single leg extension. So extend your right leg out, keep your left leg bent. Shift your torso over your right leg, reach up, then fold forward. Reach for your foot or your shin. Release. Plant your left hand right by your hips. Press down in your knee and your heel. Take a wild thing variation. Let your head hang back. Lift your hips up high and slowly come down. Switch sides. Extend your left leg out. Press your foot into your thigh. Shift your torso. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold forward. Release. Same thing as the other side. Plant your hand by your hip. Reach up and back. Get really long. Take one more inhale. Exhale, come down. Take an inversion. So you can take waterfall or shoulder stand. Of course, headstand or handstand is an option if you could do that in your space with ease. But the idea here is to just get your hips up higher than your heart for a few breaths. So waterfall, put a block under your low back, lift your heels straight up. You can also take this up against a wall. Shoulder stand. Stack your feet over your hips and your hips over your shoulder. Walk your elbows in towards each other. Take some fun leg variations like eagle or tree. If you're in shoulder stand, take plow. Take your feet back behind you. Bend your knees and slowly make your way down onto your back. Make yourself as long as possible. Big full body stretch. Reach back behind you, point your toes, then hug your right knee into your chest. Supine twist. Let's bring it over to the left. Stack one hip right on top of the other, but keep both shoulders on the mat. Switch sides, so come back through center. Hug your left knee in, and then send it over to the right. Release and take any last stretches you need. Make your way into our final resting pose, Shavasana. So you take that on your back or your side. Maybe bend your knees. If you want to do that, bring your knees in towards each other and your feet out wide. But relax, settle in, close your eyes. Take as long as you need here. When you're ready, gently roll to your right side. Gently come up to a seated position, facing me. Bring your hands to heart center. Together we'll take one more big full breath in. Open your mouth, let it go. Thank you. Thank you for practicing with me. I hope you enjoyed this practice, and it's one that you will come back to again and again. As always, hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and share this with the people you know who need yoga in their life. Thank you. See you next time.